Recording started. Do I have players?
You have players.
Well, I'm
Hola.
certainly here.
Oops. I
And
can't hear him.
and everyone has voice permissions, correct?
No problem.
It looks like I have.
Good. Okay. I added that. I just want to make sure it worked.
Technical
Woohoo!
problem fixed. I can hear people again. Yay! All right, so I got Joel and I got a Brad.
Yeah, just one of me though. I mean, that's more than
Just
anybody
one.
should be able to take.
All right. And I know that we're missing Lexi, but I think we have everybody else, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I might be somewhat quiet. I do have about 1 billion reports to write, but I'll be here.
Okay. So let's see. I'm going to move that really quick. I'm going to come over here. No, that is not what I meant to do. Click things. I would like to bring up Google Docs. And then who wants to be in charge of recap? Because we need a good recap for those of us who are just joining in right now.
I like how Joel immediately muted and deafened when the mention of doing the recap
I think
came
that's
up.
like saying tag you're it, Brad.
Well, for once, I'm not having to post everything everywhere because we already got the stream and everything recording. So, when we last left our intrepid explorers, is how I usually start the recaps. We are a group of investigators that have been hired to look into a case of a missing person, I suppose is the best way of putting it. Was this very cranky old woman that nobody particularly liked, and they were suspecting that she had been killed, but no body had been found. We managed to correlate the missing persons case, along with a couple of other cases with some mystical disturbances that seem to have been going on, and have tracked it down to a woman who is a soap maker. Looks like she had been compelled.
No, she's not. She's not a soap maker. She sells lard.
Oh, okay.
It's for cooking.
Well, you can
You,
reduce down for tallow for
you
soap and
render the
everything
lard
like
for
that.
cooking.
So okay, but
I guess you could use it for soap, but it's yeah.
But whatever. But point being, we found that she had been magically compelled by a Fey woman, who we have tracked down, and as we last left off, that we had our offices with the woman who had been compelled. We'd dragged her in there. We had brought in an expert on the Fae, had put up some wards to protect her while we went to go try and track down the Fae at her home, which we were suspecting was the Fae's lair. The Fae was not there, so we went back to find the victim. And as we were coming through, we found at least what we believe to be the Fae woman walking away. And right as we left off on the last session, I called out, "Excuse me, miss, can I have your name?" Did I miss anything?
Let's see. Whole bunch of deaths, weird, mysterious stuff with them. Figured out it was a fae. I think that about covers most of it. Anybody?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
So now we get to see what hits the proverbial fan.
So, the woman who you noticed was walking slightly differently as if she was jointed maybe not quite the same as everyone else. She turns and looks back. And she looks you very, very solidly in the eyes. Oh, hey, wait, we forgot to introduce everybody. Everybody needs to introduce themselves. Nigel.
All right, well, then, yeah, I'll start that off. Yes, my character is Nigel Fullmore. I am introducing myself as an engineer, though my character's actually a Galvanic Mage. And we're probably about to see that revealed in character, given how I'm betting things are going to go down.
Spoilers.
Like gasp.
On that note, I'm Michelle, and I play August, who's an elf and an investigator.
Okay, go on. Hello?
Hey.
I think Joel's having issues with his technology again. Hang on a sec. I'll go through and help him.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
hit his
while he
computer.
does that, I'm Chris, and I play Weymont Cromwell, who is a mage and card-carrying member of the upper class.
Get on the phone. You're not muted on the phone.
Okay. And I know our great river is not with us. Which may or may not be a good thing. I'm not sure. I'll miss her.
You know, she tends to be the hair trigger, which, if we need to shoot something, is a good thing. If we don't need to shoot...
And occasionally, as the GM, I like it when the hair trigger does stuff. I'm just saying.
He's wanted to shoot stuff all this time, and we finally meet a Fae, and now she's gone. Typical.
To be fair, I don't know that we have any cold iron bullets that she would be able to use to any great effect.
Plus, that hole being exploded makes them hot. So then you go into the, how are we defining cold iron?
Well, it's cold forged iron, not that it temperature-wise has to be cold.
Does make me wonder though, how would you cold forge a bullet?
Piece of wrought iron, you hammer it into
that's
a rough
the thing.
musket ball.
I mean, you could a musket is fine, but like a bullet has to be smooth, right?
Well, it has to fit correctly, because otherwise it will not function correctly. As someone who has put together bullets, there's stuff. It can't just be sort of fitted. Like, it has to fit. It's a thing. Very precise game.
Oh, and I mean, and the bullet casing can be, molded and everything like that. It's just the bullet itself.
Well, but the projectile has to fit into the casing right. Otherwise, when the powder goes off, it may not react how you want it to, because it might escape differently.
Right, but you could at least
all of that's very
hammer
fitted
that,
together.
as long as you can get that seal correct.
Yeah, I would be concerned with trying to do that where the seal is correct, but I will do some research, because maybe I'm not as right on that one. I'll look into it.
I mean, hey, a shotgun would be just as good, like with the wrought iron pellets.
Yeah, now shotguns, that would be easy.
Yeah, that you could do. It's birdshot.
You can also put salt in those and all sorts of stuff. That one's easy.
It's a salt rifle.
Did we get Joel back?
It was just loading up as I popped back in, so hopefully fairly soon.
Good, good. I didn't introduce. I'll do that really quick. I'm Andi. I'm the GM, and we're sometimes not sure why I'm here. But that's okay.
You're here to try and kill us.
Oh, right. That's what I'm doing today.
And we're here to try and thwart those plans.
Well, I'm gonna kill Joel because he's a food tease.
Yeah, but if you come over and visit at any point, we'll feed you the same. So, it's all good.
Food
I
tease. Has he
think
been
it's
teasing
the
you with food from abroad?
yes.
What kind
Yes.
of food?
Scones and
Well, there was some
clotted cream
lovely
and jam.
yeah,
Oh,
some
you can find a
scones.
scone in the US, surely.
Yes. Now a good scone, questionable. Also keep in mind I'm in the middle of nowhere in the US. I'm in flyover country, but I'm even like a third world country within flyover country.
We'll send you a recipe so you can make some good scones of your own.
There
See,
you go.
that's what I was about
I'll take
to
the
suggest.
recipe.
Make your own scone.
Yeah, no, I can do that. Send me the recipe. I can do that. But yes, remember when I moved to the current location, it took 3 months to get up to 6 little bytes. And when I asked about upload speed, they laughed at me. And it took 3 months to get that. Remember?
Oof.
Middle of nowhere. But by a lake and very quiet and peaceful. Joel, you back?
I am here, finally.
Hey, there we go.
Awesome. Introduce yourself.
I am Joel. I am playing Morgana, who is an aristocrat and general busybody.
And activist.
Busybody.
All right.
I mean, he's not wrong.
So, yeah, you guys had gone to her house, her flat, really, and looked around. And River had even tried to taunt this Fae out into the open. And then it kind of hit everybody that if the Fae was there, the Fae was not going to come out.
Thanks, River. Appreciate it.
I believe I don't remember who it was, but one of you then realized that if she's not here, maybe she's, oh, crud, and you rush back to your offices, which thankfully you had found that expert and it is fairly well warded. And it does look like something had tried to get into the ward. And as you were kind of scanning that over, getting ready to try to go in, you noticed this woman walking not quite right. To which Nigel says,
Excuse me, miss, can I have your name?
and it's a very kind of slow turnaround. And her head cocks at an angle that just doesn't quite feel right. Oh, now, I don't think you have enough to pay for that type of information.
Oh, that's not good.
But you do have something that's mine, and I'd like it back.
And what exactly would
No.
that be?
I honestly don't think we have.
I've never seen you before in my life.
She and I have work to do. Give her back.
I mean, if you want lard, I can buy you some lard.
She just stares. And there's something in the quiet off-puttingness of the stare that even though it's not quite a mystical social defense at the moment, it just makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up and go, ew, that's off. Kind of rolls her neck around. And again, it's
God.
just that little bit off. Like it shouldn't roll quite like that.
Ladies, gentlemen, I think we may be in for a bit of an altercation here.
Oh no.
Well, we could ask
no,
if she
no.
would come quietly.
Oh, please, don't hurt me. And now I need a mystical defense number. Who's got the highest mystical defense? I believe it goes off of that.
Mine's a 10.
Could. Yeah.
10?
10.
Is that the highest?
Anyone have a higher mystic defense than 10?
I don't know.
Nope.
Let me check.
Yeah, you should check.
I am the mage. So are you.
Yeah, but we
Nobody
don't know
knows
that,
that, though.
I've got an 11. 11.
yet.
11.
Get you.
And
Oh.
she has a 14.
Oh dear, you'll never be able to get your mystic defense up a voice-activated elevator.
However, that 14 is not enough to get more than one of you. So let's see. Who's the lucky person?
I mean, you
I
didn't
think it's
seriously
going
think.
to be... I think it's going to be... Why is my mind blanking on your character's name, Chris?
Weymont. It's Weymont.
Weymont. That's it. Weymont. You feel like these people are about to attack that poor woman.
Oh no.
It's really terrible and scary for her. I mean, she's all alone and there's so many of you.
Maybe we shouldn't.
Vicious.
Listen, maybe we shouldn't just go ahead and attack her or anything. It's.
I mean, I'm just an innocent person trying to find their friend. Yeah, right, Weymont? She's just an innocent person trying to find a friend.
I mean, yeah, she's just. Well, she hasn't done anything wrong, really. She's just standing there. And there's like, what, 5 of us?
We know full well that she's definitely done something wrong. Several things wrong.
You got any proof?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
What proof have you got?
Well, if you step inside the office, Weymont, you'll be able to go and look at it.
Look at what? And if you say the proof, I'm going to get annoyed.
Perception/awareness while this discussion's going on.
For everybody?
Yep.
Alrighty.
A mighty 4 for me.
Do I need to make
Well,
this
I mean,
as
you're
well?
you're talking about Weymont. Yeah. Weymont, there's really no point in you.
Right, okay.
I got an 18.
I'm not quite as pleased with your 18, Brad. Nigel.
Well, hey, blame the D8. It rolled up.
All right, fine.
12.
Throw that D8 in the dice jail and pick a different one.
I got 12.
12? Okay.
Yeah.
So, Nigel, She's very quietly, very subtly walking away.
Still Morgana.
And Morgana and Weymont are having a discussion.
Well, now
So,
that's rather
Morgana,
rude,
what-
leaving in the middle of a conversation, isn't it? And I'm calling that out loud towards her.
For a start, dear, there's the witness she's demanding we hand over.
Right, you have a single witness whom she has said that is her friend, which, I mean, I have no reason to disbelieve that. And
This was enough for you 2 minutes ago, Nigel. What's happened?
Weymont, not Nigel.
Weymont, sorry.
well, I just thought about it. I mean, look at her.
I mean, and also, if she's walking away right now and she wants to go and find this friend, she's in the office.
Well, yeah.
She
Well, obviously
actually
she's gonna-
waves goodbye to Nigel. She doesn't actually turn around. She just does that kind of half-hearted wave back at you as she keeps walking.
I was calling her out by saying she's rude. Does she respond to that at all? Or no?
Nope. She just waves and keeps walking.
All right. If she's not going to respond to that, then we need to get this back on track. I'm going to drop a dispel on Weymont.
Well. Stole my stuff.
Hang on, that one later. Pile.
I mean, of course she's walking away. Like, think about how we treated her since she got here. We're accusing her of stuff without any actual evidence.
Yes, but she stated that she wanted to find her friend because she had things to do and work to do. And
Andy,
she's going in
I
the
don't
opposite
think any-
direction from this friend.
Well,
Weymont?
obviously she's going to be coming back later. It's not really that hard to figure out.
Andy, I don't think any of my D8s like you today because it rolled up again and I got a 19.
Alright. You broke up a little on the total other than the I hate your D8s.
I got a 19.
What was the total? Alright. Weymont?
Yep.
You don't feel so protective of her.
Well, you know what? I was going to make a point there, I'm sure of it.
You were.
Um,
And she is turning a corner down an alley.
what was I
Quick,
doing?
after her.
Think later, counter now.
Right. We need to go.
Do you got anything that could stop her at range?
Do I got anything that could stop her? Well, silver chains is my jam. I could bind her right up. Depends
you
how far
guys
away she
go-
is.
Charging down the street to try to go down the alley?
Right, yes. Let's do
Yes?
that.
Or you guys are staying in front of the thing deciding what you're doing? I don't know. Not rushing you.
Well, how far away is she right now?
She's about, as far as you could see, she went down about about a half a block to where the alleyway is and turned.
Okay. How far away is that in feet?
Goodness.
I'm looking this up.
Or yards?
Yards would also
Yards.
help.
Let's say 20 yards. If she hasn't gotten far down that corner.
So 20 yards is about 60 feet. So
Sure.
I am nowhere near the range I would need to be to get to her. because I have an 11-foot range with this, so we'll have to rush after her.
I was gonna say she may not move correctly, but she does move quickly.
Mm.
So you rush down.
Yep.
And you basically see her kind of turning into a shadow. And it looks like she's opening a door and going in.
Hmm.
It's not your building.
It's a different building.
Yeah, it's definitely not your guys' office building. It's a different building.
So
Even
what are
more
we doing?
strangely.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys go. Eve, what are you doing?
Surely it can't just be me that's running after her. What are you guys doing?
But I'm running after her too.
Well, you're the one that has the binding spell to try and keep her in place.
I mean, fantastic. Great. But, like, if I turn that corner and there's 20 hellhounds there or something like that, I'm gonna die.
I mean, we're coming with you, but you're the one that's got the spell.
Right?
What Nigel said.
Yes.
Right, okay.
It-
So we round the corner, we see the door opening. Is it attempting to close again? Because I can do something about that.
Well, the interesting thing is what I was going to say is there's not actually a door there. But she's walking through a door, and closing the door. But there's not
I cast
actually a
Bind on the door.
there. Initiative to see if you can get to it before she gets through.
Sure thing. It's time for an initiative check. Where is that on this sheet? Here it is. Dex step 7, which is
D7
12.
is what a D12, yeah.
Aha! Aha!
Yeah.
21.
Oh. Damn. Your dice are going to dice jail too. Okay.
You
So-
will keep my dice away from that dice jail. I like them just now. Except for the D6. It goes in the corner with the dunce's cap.
So, good, bad thing. You manage to bind the door, so she's not able to close the door. She's no longer in the doorway, but the door, which shouldn't be there, doesn't actually exist as far as you remember being there, is open. Which is some interesting conundrums.
But she's already passed through the door.
She's gone through the door.
I'm going to
Oh,
follow her
boy.
through
You
the door.
finished the whole door, though. So who's gonna peek in the door?
Oh boy.
Morgana definitely is. She'll take a quick look before she steps through.
So Morgana, willpower check.
We have another candidate for dice jail because that's a 16.
Really good.
You'll have to go and get your dice jail, Joel. It's downstairs.
That Andy needs to supply it.
It's a good thing you're
I'll
rolling
have to
high
come and
because you're
visit then.
peeking into face space.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you're
don't think
peeking into
August is
face
equipped for
space.
this.
You're gonna go crazy.
You're
Go.
not going to go crazy unless you keep looking at it, but your will is high enough to make you pull your eyes away, and you know that whatever you're looking at is very, very not okay. And you're pretty sure you're not supposed to see whatever the Hades you just saw. Now, you have a choice. You can continue to look at it. You can go through it. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm just trying to work that out.
I mean, that's a good thing to make a decision about. It's death or the box.
Sorry, what was that?
It's death or the box. You can choose death or the box.
Well,
Is that because they're all out of chicken?
Yes.
Excellent. Just checking.
what do you want to do?
Well, I sort of want to follow the evil Fey woman and stop her, but that doesn't look like a sensible place to follow her to, so...
I take it she's not reacting at all to the door to her home being left open.
Well, she is reacting, but the only one who can see any of that would be Lady Morgana right now, who has a choice on whether she wants to see. You're not hearing a verbal reaction.
I will be trying to look for her.
You want to keep looking in the hole.
Yes.
I see you have chosen death. Okay.
Okay. Well, why don't you give me like another 2 will saves or will checks? We'll see if you can hold on to things
boy.
here a little.
I don't think so, because that's a 3 and a 2.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Wait, did you say a 3 and a 2 or a 32?
A 3 and a 2. 2 rolls.
A 3 and a 2.
I mean, it's got a 3 in it, but it's not 32.
No. I was going to be well amazed at your 32, but the 3 and the 2 are also amazing just for very different reasons. You really want to go through that doorway. I mean, she's beckoning to you. And she's so beautiful right now. So you're just going to go ahead and step through that. The rest of you, I'll give you an initiative. And
All right.
and Lady Morgana, you might have an initiative, and we'll see if they can stop you from going through the door.
I think at this present time, I am busy holding the door open.
Well, here's the thing. You could close the door.
I could.
Which means that your initiative matters.
Right. I'll roll.
7.
4.
I got a 13.
4. 13.
Morgana got a 4.
Oh boy, so I got
Okay,
first
so
move here.
2 4s, a 7, and a 13. Nigel.
All right.
Lady Morgana's got a crazy look in her eye.
And she's walking towards the door.
Oh, she's stepping through that door.
All right. Well, magic time. I'm going to do a spell casting. I'm going to cast Gravitic Repel and basically just put a gravity repel between Morgana and the door.
Gonna try to shove her back.
But basically, you'll kind of like reverse magnetism.
Shove her back, repel.
She can walk her out other ways, but as soon as she gets to that door, it's going to push her away. Alright, so I got to beat Morgana's spell defense, or mystic defense.
Mystic defense, and then
Which is
decide what
the
strength of it, because she's going to have to strength over it, right?
Yep. So I got a 10. And you said your
Beats
mystic was
her
9? Okay, so that succeeds.
Yep.
And then it's my rank plus will. So, hang on, that one landed cocked. Not the strongest, but it's a 7. Let me make sure I got that right. Yes. Okay, so it would be a 7 strength test to overcome.
Okay. And August at the 7.
Has she gone through the door?
No. She goes
Can
after
I
you.
reach her? Can I reach her to go to basically catch her to drag her backwards?
Absolutely, you can.
And I will attempt to do that somehow. Probably a strength test, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tap her on the shoulder and I'll suggest, do you actually really want to go through that door whilst trying to pull her back through as well with my hand on her shoulder?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. See if she breaks the spell and notices you and looks towards you instead of through the door, while
Yeah.
also trying to
Trying
physically
to,
restrain her from doing it.
yeah, or to guide her away from, to sort of turn her away from the door, that sort of thing.
Which you have some help from this door, which sort of is repelling her, kind of,
Oh,
now.
cool. That's handy.
That's handy. On the 2 4s, who wants to go first?
If I can, I'll turn
Okay.
to look at August, say, "You may be quite handsome, but that doesn't give you leave to grab me." As I try and step through the door and get a mighty 2 to resist the gravitic repulsion.
Weymont?
I will release the bindings on the door.
Closes. The sad thing is you still kind of want to go through it, Lady Morgana. But it's closed.
Oh,
It feels a lot like a missed opportunity. You know, the type of missed opportunity that 10 years later you still think about?
August will take his hand off her shoulder.
oh God, I will try and clear her head.
It's hard to put into words what you saw, but you're convinced that it was beyond beautiful. But hey, August took his hand off your shoulder.
Oh,
They're all standing there staring at each other.
What just happened?
Well, there goes our lead.
Morgana will definitely look a little shaken by the entire experience.
River is somewhere glaring, saying that you blocked her shot. You're welcome.
I mean, that's probably what would happen anyway.
Yeah, see it.
I was hoping.
And this is one of those weeks where I think if she'd have actually tried to shoot something, that would have been beneficial. But hey ho,
Like I
never
said
mind.
before, like I said before, she's been wanting to shoot something for ages, and the time she finally gets the the chance to, she's not here.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Shall we go back to the office,
I
everyone?
I think that's a good idea.
I think we should consult
Yes.
with our Fey expert who's there to see how we want to handle this.
We at least would have something she wants.
Sorry, what was that?
We at least have something she wants.
That is true. So you guys go back to the office. The professor you left there looks kind of tired. But strangely excited,
Good for him.
and starts almost babbling as soon as you walk through the door about how an actual Fae tried to get in. And the wards they held mostly. He had to, like, on the fly work on some of it, but a Fae was actually here trying to get in. Isn't that the most
Yes.
amazing thing you've ever heard of?
I don't know. I think she did something to my mind for a bit. Seems that way.
Not
fine,
just
it's fine.
yours, I
Something
don't
to
think.
who? Did what? To who?
Tim, I mean, you got me trying to let her go.
Oh. Oh. She bespelled you.
You
Charmed.
what?
She charmed you. Bespelled, charmed. I
Glamour
mean,
dust.
how do you think the Pied Piper got people to follow? How do you think most people with sirens that she bespelled you? That makes sense.
So anyway, to
Starts
prevent.
trying to shine a light in your eye to see if he sees any, you know, not sure what he's looking for. Do you feel bespelled still?
No,
The one I think you should be taking a look over is Lady Morgana over here.
I
Oh.
think
Were you
that
bespelled?
She got a look into the doorway that our Fey woman walked through.
Well, whatever he had in his hand, he dropped. Well, what does it look like?
I can't remember it clearly. It was beautiful. But beyond that, I can't really put it into words. I wanted
Why
to step
didn't you
through.
go? I mean, if you could see it, why didn't you go?
We stopped her.
August tried to stop me, but something pushed me back from the door.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
Was
going to
that
be
you?
honest here. I'm. Weymont will look at Nigel. Nigel, did you do something?
I suppose the cat's out of the bag now.
Go on.
there's a cat.
And
Not literally, dear.
rather than, explain, I'm just going to do a quick spell casting and I'll cast Illuminate just to create light.
Ah,
So where is this Fedor?
outside.
I think wherever she wants to create in shadows. That's the sort of thing evil fairy queens can do, right?
Well, from from some of the stuff, because I remember you filled him in pretty much, right?
Yeah, we
The
Yes.
shadows
covered
would make some
surfaces.
sense. Apparently, she doesn't like the light. So, I mean, that makes some sense. I wonder if that means she can't do it in the light. Does it have to be a shadow?
Well, it was still light outside, wasn't it?
But you're in a dark alley. And alleys in Victorian tended to be piled with trash and things. And a lot of times the buildings are awfully close together, blocking light. So, not necessarily.
Yeah, but she wasn't until. Oh, so just for the doorway though, because we encountered her in the
Yeah.
street.
Yeah, she didn't turn off the lights because the lights weren't, like, electrical lights weren't on. Just for the doorway.
Well, that would make sense then.
Mm.
Well, if she needs darkness and shadow to open that doorway, then why else would the lights have gone off with all the disappearances?
Oh, that does make some sense. You know, I believe you're the first person I've ever met who's seen the Fey lands and can talk about it. I mean, we've suspected, but no one's ever come back. Do you feel any lingering? Well, I guess I'm not sure what. Lingering anything?
Symptoms?
I fear if the door was here and open, I would step through it. I am not sure if that is a good thing.
Well, I mean, I don't want to completely naysay it, but I will reiterate we don't know anyone who's come back from the Feylands. To be honest, I'm not sure that we can survive there. I mean, their stories are of people being taken. Stories don't usually tell of anyone necessarily being released, and if they are released, are they truly, or are they a fetch, or? And he just starts going on and on about the different, you know. Does anyone come back? If they do come back, do they have their sanity? Is that really them? Is it a changeling pretending to be them, or a fetch that's being held as a placeholder? Most of it seems to be almost babbly to you guys.
I still think we need to get somebody else involved in this because I can do nothing against a fey creature.
Oh, yeah, she woke up. The lady, she woke up.
Oh, how is she?
Sad and tired. I was making her some tea. And then he seems to remember that he was making tea. And he goes into the little kitchenette and comes out with the trolley service. Some tea, some biscuits, maybe a couple little light sandwiches. And heads back out into that parlor where she was laying down on the couch. Or on the floor. I don't remember where we had her. But she was laying down. She's now sitting on the couch. And she looks like she's aged tremendously in the last 24 hours. Like has a whole new like white lock of hair type of thing.
Uh,
I and she looks at you guys and she's I remember all of you, I think.
Yeah. I think so. Well, that won't be able to fight it.
Well, that's good. How are you feeling?
Like I've been running for years and haven't had a chance to stop or sleep or rest.
Hmm.
Very tired. I guess she didn't give me much time to rest. We have
I guess not.
work to be done. And she starts to look kind of green. Like a lot green. And then she kind of like eyes dart around and she basically manages to find a wastebasket before she gets sick. Professor kind of gets her to, back and gets her some tea. Seems to think a little bit of, tea will help settle her stomach. He does not seem overly sure of himself in this, but he's trying. And she looks and she goes, I killed her. I can't believe I killed her. I'm going to be hung.
No, there were extenuating circumstances. You were bewitched, ensorcelled, manipulated.
August made a good point. How do we fight this thing?
I
How
cooked
do
her
we stop it?
lard. Followed the recipe. I don't know how to stop her. I delivered that. What have I done? And she starts to kind of shake and cry.
That wasn't you.
I remember doing it. I don't know why I
But it
did
wasn't
it.
you. Because it wasn't you, that's why.
You were not in control of yourself. Someone else was using you.
She says the blood tastes better when it's from revenge. She wants to be able to feed more. More. Are there more of them? Does she just want to eat more herself? What have I done?
Can you tell us how she found her victims?
I don't I know that I ran into her in the neighborhood and she looked like she needed help. She I tried to help her and she shook my hand and everything just felt so very wrong. She smiled, but it wasn't natural. The smile. It was was evil. And she said she knew that deep down, I was still very angry. And there was only one way to set that free. I didn't want to. And I tried to fight the urge. And I thought I was. But then she'd come by in the night. I thought they were dreams. I'm not sure now. And then one night, morning, I guess, I went to Cat, settle. Thank you, sorry. I went to make my deliveries. And she said it was time. I remember it was as if it had just happened. I was so angry. So angry. She ruined my life. Both. I built a new life. It's not what I thought, but I was keeping a roof over my head and food on the table. And then I was just so angry. And I know I can climb up the trellis. And she was still asleep. I looked, and I didn't want to do this. And she said not to worry. No one was ever going to know I was there. And that it was the right thing to do. And that it would set me free from all the anger. But it didn't set me free. I felt even more trapped than I was before. And I wanted to run. And she said that I owed her, and I had the body with me. She said no one would see. It was dark.
She was using magic to control you. She made you do something
Never would have done it, I swear.
that you never would have done it.
I swear I wouldn't have. I mean, she fired me years ago now. Why would I try to kill her now? Oh God, I didn't try. I killed her.
The creature killed her. She just used magic to use you, which...
I boiled the lard. I followed the directions. What did I make? What did I give people? Done.
Morgana's going to turn to the rest of the group and say, if you want to leave me talking to her for the moment and try and work out some way we can stop this thing.
Quite frankly, I'm all for getting the Grail Knights involved because I can't fight this thing.
That's a good idea.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. At this point, I think it's beyond us.
Yeah, Morgana is to sit on the sofa and quietly talk to the troll lady and try and help her deal with it as best she can. Can I make a diplomacy roll?
Yes, you can.
Kate Webster, that's it. A 13.
You're doing a good job keep getting her to calm down. She's mayhaps not helpful in necessarily being able to have a way to stop her. But you do end up finding out a little bit more about whatever it was she was doing. Somehow, some way, whatever the heck she did with that lard, she thinks it's going to help. That the fey creature thinks it's going to help her feed more, whether that's more fey or just personally feed herself more. You're not sure, but that something in the lard is possibly infectious.
Working on the idea that Morgana thinks it'll be helpful to have Kate sort of help us stop this woman, or certainly help for Kate. We'll take some notes of where she's delivered to since the rendering.
She parts of it are fuzzy for her, but she knows what her normal route is. And so she can tell you on the last few days, these are the places, the areas she would have gone. The professor guy is seemingly apologetic for being so excited, but is super excited because there's so much he can learn from all this. What are the rest of you gonna do?
I think it's time we get in some outside help.
Agreed.
So yeah, I'm thinking we need to go reach out to the Grail Knights or Mystical Investigations of Scotland Yard or wherever we need to go on that side of things. But this is beyond
So where would you like
us.
to try?
Well, what places do we know of, I should say?
And how does one contact the Grail Knights, for example?
I mean, we know where their headquarters are, but I'm pretty sure we can't just go walking in there.
Why not?
Because they're more for the
Knock
crown.
on the door.
They're more for the crown than they are for, regular people. But there's got to be some place we
Okay.
can level this up for.
Sorry. Someone is writing notes. They're quite.
Oh, sorry about that. I'll mute.
So you might try Scotland Yard. I mean, in all truth, I don't know if any of you guys would have any idea where to go for this. I'm perfectly willing to accept that if you think you know where to go.
Well, there's got to be some sort of magical investigations point. We do have our Fey expert here. He has a suggestions on his end.
I would say his suggestion is to go to Scotland Yard. Because even if you don't know, somebody there surely knows something.
All right. I think that's where we need to head then. And we'll elevate it up the chain from there.
So is everyone going? Is Kate staying with the professor here at the offices? How does this look?
I guess I'll go with Nigel at Scotland Yard.
I mean, I think the main person that would need to stay here is Morgana, since she's kind of keeping this woman calm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Where do you want August? So it's not going to take 3 of us to go to the Scotland Yard, is it?
Why don't we try? So we still have the wards and everything up here. Why don't we leave River here with Morgana for defense, since this is where what the Fey woman wants is. So we can keep this place guarded, and then August, why don't you come with us so we're not, on our own.
Okay.
The
All
other
right.
thought,
Oh, go ahead.
Nigel,
Go ahead.
you can create light.
It's got a very short duration, but yes.
Do you think creating light in that thing's face would hurt it?
I'm not sure that it's weak to light. I think that just prevents its doorway from opening.
And that might be helpful in future encounters.
I would say let's turn on what lights we can here in the office. And be sure to keep Kate well lit.
Yeah, but that's not going to work if she magically downs the lights to do things.
No, but if the wards are up, that will help slow her down, if nothing else. And the wards repelled her once.
Do we have a plan?
I think it's the ladies stay behind to protect Kate, and the boys go and get Scotland Yard involved.
Yep. So we're in agreement. That's the plan.
Yep. Worst
Awesome.
case scenario, I do have a means of sending a message to you, as long as we are within 20 miles.
Always a useful trick.
Well, I'm not planning on going to the country.
All right. So we're going to leave you guys here for a second, and we're going to pick up with the guys at Scotland Yard. Getting into Scotland Yard's pretty easy. Now it's just a matter of asking and finding the right area.
Yeah, it's just a police office, basically.
So you probably go up to information desk sergeant, something like that,
Whatever's available.
and they would like to know how they can help you.
We are in need of assistance with magical investigations, defenses, something along those lines.
Defenses against what?
A Fey.
He looks at August, because August is with you.
Mm-hmm.
He bonkers. You need me to...
I'm
to
afraid not. No. We need some assistance with a case we are working on, and it has turned magical in nature. Do you have any
magic.
specialists
Yep.
available?
Yeah, might help
Yes.
if we
No.
slide the card across the table.
Magical, but I mean, Fey, really magical. Magical. We like, yeah. This way. We have a new department for that.
Thank you.
And it's it is a new department. I wouldn't say that it's necessarily a wealthy department or totally well put together department at this point, but they definitely have a new department for this. Got a weird one, I think, for you. And there's probably 7 or 8 officers in here.
The Department of Bat Crap Crazy.
2, pretty much. There's 2 elves. There's a troll. There's an orc, a dwarf. 2 elves, troll, orc, dwarf, and 2 humans. And they all pretty much, like, I don't want to say kind of halfway trip over themselves, but they haven't had a lot of cases yet. Because half the time no one's sure what's magical and what isn't. So, and they're new to being, everything. So, how can we help you?
Oh, well,
You guys have their undivided attention.
yeah, let's say, so we can slide the calling card across the table and give them the whole rundown of the missing persons case and where investigations had led us, and basically just tell them the story of how we've now run afoul of a fae and actually encountered the darn thing.
So their initial conversation is a lot along the lines of, is that an actual thing? Is fae an actual thing? And basically someone goes, well, dragons are, so probably. And now they're having a bit of a discussion on whether, well, okay, how do we stop a fae? What do we know about fae? What do we know about this fae? Who can we go to? And basically this is being ran up the flagpole to the knights. Because they don't think they've actually ever dealt with a fae. At least not that any of them knew of at the time. For sure. So they want to take your information, and they're going to reach out to the knights, and they're going to get back to you. They're going to send part of their group with you to act as backup guards until the knights can get involved.
Okay, so we'll have some extra firepower. That's a good thing.
All right. So while that's going on, because it's going to take you guys a little bit of time to get down there and talk to everybody and get back. Those of you at the office, there's a knock on the door.
Who is knocking on the door? I'll look through the peephole.
It happens to be a certain woman, and she smiles at you. Oh, do come out. I'm not going to hurt you. I just want to talk to you.
Fae expert. The wards still work if I open the door but don't step through, correct?
Please tell me he's smart
He
enough to just
says
knock
he
her
thinks so.
You think so or you know so?
Thinks so? I mean,
Let's not risk it.
just you. You can keep Kate. Come out. Let's talk.
I'm quite happy talking to you from this side of the door, thank you.
But I have an offer for you.
I can hear it from here.
I'm offering to show you everything you want to see.
You in chains and on trial for the murders you've committed. Excellent. If you'd wait there,
Oh, silly. Silly, silly. Let's
Oh,
not
it
beat
was.
around the bush.
Oh, it was well
I'm
played.
offering to take you home with me. Not an offer you get every day.
I'm sorry, my dear, you're not really my type. I don't really go for murderers.
I don't plan on murdering you.
Well, you've murdered other people, and that's what counts.
I never murdered anyone.
Would those murders happened without you? I don't think so.
Well, you can think what you like.
That's very polite of you. You don't seem to be big on that.
Oh, come now. Surely you want to know what's on the other side.
I really don't think you're the person I want to find that out from.
If I give you my word that you're safe to cross,
Would you give me your
would that
word that
help?
you would never come to our world again?
If you come across, you want me to promise never to come back.
Never to come back and never to harm a mortal.
I'm not really sure you were starving over. But I'm rather curious. So you would come across if I promise not to come back.
Oh, stop.
Interesting. How do you plan on getting back if I don't come back? Or are
Well, I'm
you just
sure I would muddle
sacrificing
through it.
yourself?
It stops you causing harm. It might be worth it. It would definitely be worth it if you starved to death because of it.
Well, I think that's not very nice.
Well, neither are you.
What have I ever done to you?
Ensorcelled me, hurt my friends, murdered
And
several
hurt.
people, which wasn't to me directly, but I take it kind of personally.
There's way too many of you, anyways. I'm really sure what the problem is. I help people to get what they've always wanted. If they didn't want it, they wouldn't have done it.
If they really wanted it, they'd have done it. You just make
They
them
did
do
do
it.
it.
Not
I
until
didn't
you got in
admit.
their mind.
Poor little weak me. I doubt I'm that powerful.
Oh, you're doing yourself a terrible disservice. You're a terrible influence on everybody.
I help people, especially women. I mean, we ladies have to stick together.
I'm not sure the help
I
we
guess
or the help we need.
if you don't want to come out, then I guess Kate'll just have to come out.
No, Kate is staying right here.
Um, no, not really. Kate. Oh, Kate. And with that, she starts kind of sing song, almost chanting for Kate to come out. River says something to you like, whatever she's doing, I don't think it's good for Kate.
No.
Kate is trying to leave. And part of it she seems to be doing of her own free will, sort of, kind of, along the lines of, I won't let her hurt you. I'll just go. And part of it seems to be possibly a Gaius mind control-esque thing.
Morgana will just try and just talk to Kate and keep talking to her, if at all possible, to drown out the noise of the fairy woman, but tell her that this is the fairy influencing her again, and you know where that leads, and you don't want to do this, and that you can resist it.
Give me like a diplomacy and let's see if that helps bolster her will.
$25.
Why are you guys all rolling so good tonight? Darn players. But you did roll well. So you managed to keep her from losing it or actually leaving. But this seems to have aggravated the Fae outside. And she has decided to talk to some people out on the street who are now rather convinced that you're keeping Kate hostage. And they're banging on the doors and threatening to break down the door.
Oh, this is just going wonderfully, isn't it?
Well, pretty wonderfully, as your backup is returned. So, Nigel, Weymont, when you get there, you pretty sure that woman there is the Fae still. And there's probably about 7 or 8 people screaming, and they've gotten to the point where they're like throwing rocks through the windows. And they're trying to shoulder bust in the front door.
Oh, whoa. What's going on here?
They've kidnapped a woman.
Who has?
We're not going to stand for that. The people inside. They kidnapped that poor old woman's daughter.
What old woman?
Strangely enough, now that it's been said that she's an old woman, you look at her and she now kind of looks like an old woman, but you're very convinced that that's actually still that Fae.
God damn it. Listen. Let's be reasonable.
And she's looking all teary-eyed with her little handkerchief. My poor Kate. They've taken the poor girl.
Everybody stand back. I'll go and talk to them.
There seems to be some confusion. The law enforcement people with you guys are like, wait a minute. They kidnapped.
You remember
You
when
guys
we
going to
said
explain to
magic?
them that that's the Fae? Sorry, yes? What was that?
Yeah. You remember when we said to you that we were having a little problem with a fae and that it was magical in nature? Yeah, this would be
Yeah.
that.
The little old lady?
That's the Fae.
Yes, appearances can be deceptive.
Oh, let's get some willpower rolls on those cops.
In any case, Weymont is trying to calm the crowd down, and I believe that this would be an excellent time to make a first impression.
It really would.
I believe this would be an excellent time to try and dispel that phase illusion.
What was that, Brad?
I said I believe this would be an excellent time to try and dispel that phase illusion.
What an excellent
Hateful.
thing you just said.
Hateful.
Alright, so on my first impression, I rolled a 13. A 13.
Nice. That's nice.
That's nice.
Which hasn't quite gotten them to completely like join your side, but they're less sure of themselves.
Now listen, as you can see, the authorities have arrived with us. Please allow me to go and talk to the people inside at the very least.
August, can you give me a perception awareness-y roll?
Sure.
Because the other two are kind of busy
Andy, you're
undermining me.
You're not gonna like my D8 again.
I told you to put that in dice jail.
They all do it.
Oh,
You
it's all
can't
right.
sound
like
gleeful while you're doing it.
They're all
Sorry, what was
doing
that?
it.
You like my D8s. I rolled a 2 and a 4, so 6 in total. My D8s are playing along, it seems.
There you go. At least somebody's D8s are nice. What did you get on your dispel?
I got a 21.
You realize I had 2 of your 4 cops. That's what I was trying to see if August would notice. But if you're in the midst of dispelling while she's trying to, convince them of her frail little old ladiness, I think I'm
am
going to lose my
so
hold
glad
on
I
2
took
cops.
this skill.
Just going to run around dispelling everything. I dispel that. Dispel this too. I will give you this, August. 2 of the cops, you notice, kind of like shake their head like, wait. And they had this look. It's almost like a look of horror as they realized they were about to fall for, wait a minute, that's not a little weak old woman trying to get her daughter back.
Uh-huh.
And part of the crowd is also... Part of the crowd has not, because they're busy... They're not paying attention that things have changed behind them. But the cops are also now moving those people away because there's now less of them, whereas some of the other ones are like, wait, where'd the old lady go? They seem very confused.
Mm-hmm.
But that's giving you a chance, Weymont, to get in.
That's what I was saying. What old lady?
But there was an old lady here,
I know.
and they took her daughter.
I don't see any old ladies here. Only a bunch of fine, upstanding citizens who've been duped into doing something that they really shouldn't be doing.
But and now they kind of look a bit abashed, And that face looking a mighty agitated. Mighty. Weymont, if you want to get into the building, you can.
Weymont will tip his hat to the crowd and say, "Go about your business. I'll deal with this."
And a lot of the people actually do wander off. A few are sticking around, but it's looky-loos, lollygaggers.
Some of them
Still trying to...
lollygaggers.
Damn lollygaggers. They're trying to figure out what the Hey, just happened.
Some lollygaggers, hangers-on, couple of bounders in the back. You know how it is.
Oh, yes. Damn bounders.
If they had curtains, they'd be twitching them right now.
All right, so Weymont, you've managed to get into the building. Did anybody else go in with, or is everybody else trying to keep control of the outside?
I don't know if any of the rest of us are gonna have a chance to, because I'm pretty sure this Faye's gonna be pissed.
Oh, she is.
Morgana
Going to be...
will-
No. Is.
Morgana will confront Weymont as he comes in through the front door and demand that you better not be glamoured, dear.
Oh, no. Seems like you had a spot of trouble.
Well, I was doing my best to deal with it, but it looks like you turned up at exactly the right time. Thank you very much, my darling.
Oh, I'm excellent at that, I think you'll find. Now, we have a very, very angry Fae outside. What
Marvellous.
exactly are we going to do with that?
We could try arresting her with malice aforethought.
I mean, I don't believe that arresting her is going to go particularly well, but if that's the route you want to take, who am I to stop you?
Well, you know, River has certain methods that might work, and, you know, what's the worst going to happen if we shoot this creature?
Good question. Good question.
Ah, and that's a piece of candy. Ooh. Now my D8's being nice. Wahaha. All right, so while you guys are discussing out there, she seems to be speaking to the female elf, that officer that came back with you. And the silly, weird part is it's almost as if the words don't quite make sense. Like, she might as well be saying ippity, bippity, boppity, boo for all that really makes sense to you. It does seem to have a sing-songy, rhymey quality to it. And her eyes are very glued on that female elf, whose eyes are very glued back. And she's really angry. Both of them are really angry. And she pulls out her gun. And she looks at the officer next to her. And she says, "You promised you'd love me anyways." And shoots. Actually, I should probably allow for an initiative. That would be fair. You think fair? Or do you think she gets the surprise round?
Uh,
Assume that Nigel and August.
I think initiative. Because you have some fair... Oh,
Because August
wow,
and I are
Babsy.
outside still.
August and you are outside, and she does do whatever this talking thing is, so you have some warning she's up to something. So I think initiative.
All right.
is this just for the people who are outside? Yes.
Yes. Although, if she manages to get that gun to go off, I'm pretty sure you will hear that. And would have a chance to jump in.
I got a 17.
That beats my 11. August?
10. 10.
Alright,
came
so
close.
August, the female elf. Sorry, Nigel, female elf officer, August.
Okay, so and the Fae is still visible at this point?
Yes.
All right, we need to try and get her away from us. So, I still have a handful of those nails that we found the last time, that the cold pounded nails that are cold iron.
Yep.
Now, they're just little bits, not a whole lot to do, but it'll be enough to hurt her and annoy her. So I'm going to cast Gravitic Draw on the nail and have it basically gravity drawn towards her. And it'll follow her around for a little bit.
Okay.
Probably won't do a lot of damage, but it'll be enough to hurt her, annoy her, and hopefully get her to stop.
Hopefully being in contact will really mess with her.
Yeah. That's
All
kind of
right.
the goal here. So let me get this going. So now the fun part, I gotta try and get the spell casting high enough.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna do it. You're really gonna hate my fucking D8s. Okay, it rolled up, but it only got a 1 after the roll up, so that is a total of 14 for the spell casting.
So you totally managed to cast the spell. Question is how strong is it?
So, well, it doesn't have to be super strong. The point is just that it's drawn to her and it's going to follow her around. But yes, I will do that.
Okay. Well, to do damage to her with it, I would need the strength of it, type of thing. To chase after her and annoy her, that doesn't take nearly as much.
Well, yeah, it's just, if she's going to try and do a repel or something to push it away, then yeah, I can give you the strength rating for that, and I can roll that. But the point, the nail's not going to go hard enough to really hurt her that much, other than just cold iron contact on her skin,
which she does not care for,
or whatever facsimile there is. But yeah, I can give you a strength rating if she wants to do something
strength.
to repel. So that would be, yeah. That's a 12.
The cop's turn. She shoots the dwarf. Cop. Says something along the lines of, "You promise you'd love me no matter what." Shoots him. Point blank. August? Your turn.
Can we still see the Fae?
Yes, right now you can still see she goes after you.
I'm going to channel my inner river and shoot her with my pistol. For what good it'll do.
Guns are dangerous. Ask that dwarf who's dying.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can't help him. I have no first aid.
I'm just saying, guns are dangerous.
If the gunshot means Morgana can act this round, can I rush out and feed that dwarf a healing potion?
You can next round. And there's still a chance you can save him by the next round.
Okay.
And I'm going to put my last point of karma into this. Because I can.
You happy now, Bat?
11.
Nice. You don't have any additional successes, but it does work. You do manage to shoot her.
I don't actually have the damage written down for what this does. It's just a medium revolver.
Step 6.
There you go. I was going to say, let me grab a book.
Thank you.
But I believe Joel.
Would I lie to you?
Not over something so silly. A mighty 3 damage. Well, that's good.
Mighty 3 damage.
All right. That annoys... Like, she's just giving you the stink eye.
Yeah, I figured.
She manages to basically dispel your repel. and the nail drops. But she's walking with purpose now towards August. Initiative.
Step 7. She's D12.
That goes. Okay. Well, that's a sucky initiative.
Nowhere as good that time. I got a 3.
All right. That cop's initiative is good. This cop's initiative isn't bad.
An 11 for
Um,
Morgana.
Ooh. Well, that cop's initiative is really good, but I don't know what he's going to do. All right. So, what's yours, Nigel?
I got a 3.
Okay. Nigel has a 3. And August?
8.
8. And then Lady Morgana?
11.
11. Where did that pencil go? You know, the one I had 2 seconds ago. Pen. There we go. All right. So I got Nigel at a 2. I've got August at an 8. And you said an 11 for Morgana?
Yes.
Okay. Weymont?
Let's have a wee look here. 10. You get that? Hello?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I got it.
Right, yes.
Oh. All right. So, one of the cops with you, not the female elf one who shot the dwarf, one of the humans. He is going to hold his action because he is having a moment of, oh my god, what the just happened? As he just saw one of theirs shoot another one of theirs. So he is basically holding. Because he doesn't know what to do with that. Which takes us to Lady Morgana. You hear a shot from outside.
I will rush out and, probably taking the situation, feed one of my healing potions to the injured dwarf.
All right. He should be feeling better soon. How much healing does he get from the healing potion?
It heals a wound automatically, and he makes a recovery test with +8 steps on his toughness.
Oh, nice.
But I figured that should stop him bleeding out or something.
Oh, yeah. Very nice. He might even be able to get back up on his turn. Weymont.
Alright, I'll head outside with Morgana then. And see what's what. What is going on in front of me when I get out there?
So Morgana has, well, okay, it looked like there was a cop who was shot, a dwarf cop who was shot, the dwarf cop on the ground. And it looks like Morgana has fed him some sort of healing potion. The female elf cop looks very angry and is holding a gun still pointed at the dwarf cop. The other two cops seem to be very stunned. That Fae lady, she looks pretty ticked off too. Oh, and she's been shot. Doesn't seem to be a particularly nasty wound, more of a, she's been like, you know,
Yeah.
I
Bet.
kind of winged in the arm type of thing.
All right.
So chaos, I would say chaos. That is what you meet. You meet chaos.
Well, if the Fae is casting magic about, it's time to do something to the Fae that will perhaps break her concentration a little bit. I am going to cast Mind Break on her, which is stun. I'm going to stun her.
Nice. Do it.
I'm going to do it. Alright, let's see. Spell casting, 2d10. Come on, my d10s. I know you like me. I'm also going to put some karma on this, by the way, just saying. So the d6 is coming out of jail.
But it rolled well and I put it in jail.
Coming.
It's out on parole. Scottish law's very lax.
True. Right. 27.
Nice.
The Hades.
Target number for this, I believe, according to my notes, is the Mystic
Should
Defense
be-
of the target.
Mystic Defense. Which I think hers is decent, but damn it.
Is it that decent?
Not that decent. You have like 3 successes on it. Because you said 27, right?
I did. That's what I said, yes. Okay.
So how
It
much
does-
stun is that with 3 raises?
It does non-lethal damage. I'll need to make an effect test now, though.
But the action penalty is based on the spell casting, if I recall correctly.
It says, if successful, make an effect test for the amount of damage done to the target, and it's non-lethal damage, but it's damage nonetheless. They get Mystic Armor
Right.
against the damage. So, you know. And it says, any damage past 1 point over the target's unconscious rating is discarded. If the target remains conscious, they take a penalty to all actions equal to the number of successes scored on the spell casting test, which affects them for rank rounds. So for the next 4 rounds, she has, you said 3, yes?
Wait. So she has a -3 on everything for the next 4 rounds?
Yeah.
It'll be a -4 because the initial hitting counts as a success too.
Yes.
Ooh. Ooh.
As for the effect test, I've never really been 100% sure how to make effect tests. What am I rolling for it?
But what was
Depends
the
on the
spell?
I would have thought it would be
Stun.
will.
Stun.
Let me
Isn't
pull it up
stun will
here.
power based?
Yeah, they're usually like rank plus will, but let me check here.
Spell casting rank plus will.
Spellcasting rank plus will. Gotcha. Right, let's see. Skills. Spellcasting rank plus will. If I add my will onto that instead of my perception.
Yep.
It's a d10 plus a d8. Does this also roll up? Because it's damage.
Yes. Everything rolls up.
Good to know.
Keep doing it.
I
Right.
object.
So that's 19 damage. Non-lethal damage, but 19
Yeah,
damage nonetheless.
19. Not, well, but it's the 4 negative to everything. That's a. Sure. All right.
Stun's
Unfortunately,
horrific.
we're going to take a 5-minute break. Not a good time for it, but I will be right back.
Okie dokie.
So I'll just say that in my home game, in one of my first game I ran, I had a weird scientist who built a gun that basically cast the stun spell. But I foolishly let him use True Shot with it.
It's a stun gun.
Yeah, it was his
It's
own
a stun
version of
gun.
it. He was using firearms to shoot it and using True Shot. And kept rolling into the 60s and 70s because I used 4th Ed Earthdawn style True Shot. So he could frontline Karma, and he was a human.
Oh, fun.
So like suddenly the bad guys get -10 to everything. Bother. It was a mistake, I'll admit it.
Yeah, it made my policeman in that game, who was my second character, feel very inadequate with when combat came around.
Well, you know how it is. Stun's an excellent spell.
It really is. It's awesome.
It's one of the reasons I took it right away. I'm like, what? Minus successes to everything? Yes, please.
Fortunately, that doesn't drop the defense ratings.
Yeah, but
It
then
doesn't.
not being able to act is its own bonus, really.
I mean, granted, yeah.
The point is, it's going to make it more difficult for her to bewitch anybody else.
And the strain on that's really low. It's 1 plus the target count, so you took like 2 strain for that spell.
I know, right?
Alright, sorry about that. So, 19 points non-lethal, a -4,
Do everything.
everything.
Yes. So yes, Weymont will run out, quickly assess what's going on, and then draw a small symbol in the air with his finger, and then snap his fingers, creating what amounts to a large bang, almost, but only in her head.
So she's headbanging.
This seems to wake
Exactly.
up the 2 cops. The one whose action was held, and the other one, which is not good for my Faye, because they've decided to shoot her.
A lot.
I'm okay with that. I've got River Sheet. We got given River Sheet. Can River shoot her too?
Sure.
Just have everybody sure.
Heck, we'll
Everybody.
put River in with this. Everybody
See,
will shoot her all at once.
see some of
What's
the
River's
civilians on
shot?
the street. They've got guns, I'm sure. Just
Actually, in that time period, that's actually very possible.
What initiative are we on?
We are actually on 9.
Okay. So I got a bit before I can make my
So-
move, because I'm on 3.
Yeah. So the cop at the 17 is going with the cop at 9, because Weymont was 10.
yes.
I just rolled a 9 for River's initiative.
Well, there you go. Works right in with the other 9. So what's River's to hit?
A 10.
So if I remember correctly, that will hit. No additional successes. Although one of the cops got additional successes. Crumble,
And I
crumble.
presume she's using her rifle from just near the doorway or something. Because I'm pretty sure River would have been finding the biggest gun she could get.
And laughing gleefully the entire time.
Oh, yes. 8 for damage, River.
Okay. That's a lot of lethal damage. And another wound because that one cop actually hit her pretty hard. Grumble, grumble, grumble. August. What are you doing?
I will attempt to shoot her again, I guess, because I'm not running into Clobberer. So here goes.
Oh, come on. Get really good. Get within touching distance. That'd be great.
No, because I don't actually have unarmed combat as a skill, so no.
We're just not cooperating with you, are we?
We didn't have anybody take a brawler.
Oh, it's all right. My dice likes
You
the
are
ref anyway.
not. Thank you. Somebody should like me.
No, my dice do. Well, I like you, but my dice really like you today.
Okay.
4.
4 is not gonna hit. Yay!
Yeah.
Oh, it's the other cop's turn though. Oh no, this is the one he's getting up. And he feels really bad, and he looks at the elven woman and goes, "What is wrong with you? You shot me."
Magic and
Which
evil
I feel-
pixies.
I feel like that's a normal reaction to being shot point blank, just so you know.
Yeah.
And then that leads us to the female elf cop who and I'm going to shoot you again, you rat something or other that I probably shouldn't say because YouTube or something. Although she was not so successful with her hit this time. She manages to just kind of wing him in the arm a little. Nigel.
Well, it seems
We're on you.
Seems like everybody's getting in on the shooting action against the Fae. I am not a great shot, but I have a piece of metal, and I should have like a silk hanky. Just because that's, what a proper gentleman would carry. So I'm going to take my silk hanky and polish my gun to make an arc, because that creates static electricity. And I'm going to cast Galvanic Arc. Since I'm not hiding the spell casting anymore, I can do the big spell.
I feel like my Fae is misunderstood.
Oh no, I think we understand her quite well.
That's right, we do have access to the soundboard.
Well, that was very good. I didn't know we had a soundboard.
I was hoping we had access to a lightning bolt sound, but I think I'll give this fair sample.
You're really going to hate my D8s. It's just rolled up twice. Oh, God.
Brad.
Okay.
Brad. Mental note. Those 20 hellhounds around some mysterious corner want to eat Nigel. There we go.
Well, they can
there
eat
we
me.
are. All right.
They can eat me
Nigel.
after I finish rolling a 27 on my spellcasting.
Damn. It's against her mystic, right?
Yes.
That's three additional successes.
Okay, so it's going to be a +6 on the damage.
My Fae has seen healthier days.
Okay, so that is... Now the advantage for you here is I can't throw karma on spell effects. And of course, oh wait, no, that's right. I got it. Sorry, let me reroll that because I didn't add the extra successes. So that's.
Well, you could drop those off if you don't want to roll them. I'm okay with that today.
Well, it does change the dice. They are D10s, not D8s.
Again, if you don't want to roll those additional successes, don't worry about it.
That's... Well, they did do crazy roll-ups. I got 12 points. And Mystic Armor will protect against that. It does have a secondary effect, though. And you're not going to like that. She will get an additional penalty to her dex for 2 rounds for every success. So if she does anything dex-based, it's -4 and then another -3 from that. So -7. But that's only dex.
Son of a gun. You know, now I gotta basically drop everything so she can try to escape and not die. You all know that, right? Like, that's what you've done. And it's her turn.
We're not sorry.
We're not sorry at all. Right.
Bad people, okay?
She's not even people.
They are people too. That's why we try and arrest them. I offered her a chance. I made an offer that she could turn herself in.
So the lights flicker, but she doesn't actually manage to get the street lights to go off. And she is turning and attempting to flee, but she's not moving so great. Takes us to the new top of the round. Initiatives.
Everybody reload, take another shot.
What?
Still got 4 more.
For advice.
That's 7, 12.
All right.
I got a 3 again.
Goes to show once again that stun is great.
It actually is. All right.
9 for Morgana and 2 for River.
Okay. August?
On step of 7 for August.
7 for August. Okay. Weymont?
I got 4 this time.
4 for Way. Okay. The female elf drops her gun and goes, "Oh my god, what have I done? What have I done?" And starts trying to do some more first aid, although he's really not in as bad a shape since that potion. The other cop that gets to go this round tries to shoot a fleeing fae. However, the dice don't like that cop. Missed. Morgana.
Given there's a lot of bullets flying around, I'm not going to use my better melee skills. I will take a shot at the fleeing fae. I can't remember which said we were... Are you allowing us to spend karma on optional skills, or is it just professional skills?
It's just professional, right?
Just the core skills. That's fine.
Professional and core.
Core, that's fine. That's what I thought. Just making sure whose house rules I'm playing under.
Well, that's the rules as written.
A 10 to hit.
Pen will hit. But she ain't moving so quick.
That is a D10 damage. Give me a second.
Not
13,
a problem.
because I rolled up.
Okay. The other cop is going to take a shot at her. That will hit. I rolled bad damage. Which is probably good because the rest of you are rolling perfectly well without the cops. Ooh. August?
She's still moving.
She's not moving well, no. Hobbling? With a weird... We'll call that blood, yeah. Doesn't quite look normal, but we'll call that blood. Trail behind her.
Icker. Okay,
Icker,
cool.
there you go. That's a good word for it.
I will attempt to shoot her again. No. My dice continue liking you. 5.
Yeah. It's her turn. She's got to throw some mad karma at this. Big karma dice. And with that, the lights go off. And she basically falls into a group of bushes. And is now what looks like crawling into the bushes, into the dark. The dwarf cop is kind of between why did you shoot me and it's okay, honey. It's okay. I'm going to be okay with the female elf cop. I believe that takes us to Weymont.
Yeah.
The Nigel and River.
Can I still see her though?
Well, yes. Sort of like the back part of her, but yes.
Weymont will walk forward and cast another stun. Well, after which she will say, "Oh dear, things didn't turn out the way you thought they were going to, did they?"
Good mocking.
That is good mocking. If you understood what she said, it wasn't polite back, so don't worry about it. She's a little busy trying to save her life at the moment.
Anyway, this is oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
I don't like how that sounds. I may not be able to hear you for damage. That is what I've decided. Oh, dude, it's going in and out.
This wasn't damage. This was a spellcasting roll. I rolled.
Yeah, but that leads to damage.
I rolled 50.
What?
50.
Holy moly.
You heard me.
Is that on bolt?
Yeah, that's
What were
on
you
stun.
casting?
Stun.
On stun.
Yes.
Stun. Yeah. Okay.
This D10 is
Because
going
she's
in my
at
pride dice
negatives.
collection.
Because she's at negatives, that makes it what? Like,
I mean, how many successes? Degrees
that's
of
what I'm
success.
thinking of. Like 7, 8 successes?
Yeah.
Something ridiculous?
Something like that. Does this stack
Because there
with...
was 27 was a 3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but she's down by like 4, 5. She's down by 5.
Mm-hmm.
Which would mean like her dex is down by 5 too, right?
Yeah.
Which means that it's even easier to hit her. So that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking that's.
Well, that's just on test. That's not on her defense.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I was gonna make it.
Although if she's knocked down, that does impose a -3 on all of her defenses.
Yeah.
Well, she's crawling through the thing. purpose.
In any
so-
case, I was going to ask you something, Brad. Does stun stack?
No,
Like,
you just do the highest penalty.
So you just take the harshest penalty?
Since it's from the same source, yes.
Right. Okay. In that case, it's whatever this is, minuses to her any actions.
The stun will stack with the dex penalty from my bolt because those are two different sources. But from the your stun cells going, yeah, those are the same source.
Okay. So my understanding though is that puts you at like with the -3 because she's on the ground crawling away. Let's just be honest. Let's say it's 9 successes.
Okay.
Something ridiculous. There you go.
Yes.
9 successes.
Yes. Brad, you've seen this before, haven't you, when I played Isaac?
Please roll all ones. There you go. I'm not sure that probability is.
Well, the
any
damage
good
is all non-lethal for this anyway. The main thing is just the penalty to actions.
I mean, yeah, that's the point, right? Anyways, so for the effect test, that's will. It will get a bonus of 9, so that's d20 plus d8 plus d6.
No, it's +2 for each success, so it would get a bonus
Right.
of 18.
18, got it. Right, so that's d20 plus d12 plus d10 plus d8. I don't think I've even used this d20 before.
I hope you're seeing the evil eye I'm sending you from way over here.
d10, and there's a d8. So let's see. Hopefully none of these will roll up.
Well, it doesn't matter if they do. Anything higher than 1 past her uncon rating is ignored.
Yes. Right, so that's...
Yes. But it would make her unconscious, which would be not good for her.
That's 32.
That would kill me outright.
I mean, it's not going to
I'm
kill anybody.
Assuming her being a big bad, she has more health than us.
Yes, I would assume that.
Yes, but you guys have done quite a bit.
Wait, that seriously would kill August outright? Have you taken into account your durability?
Yeah, my death rating's 27.
Really? How do I have a higher death rating than you?
My toughness is 11.
Oh my.
Okay, mine's a 13.
Oh no, sorry. Sorry, 39.
My fair.
No,
Right.
that was my base. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Right.
I was like, that makes more sense.
My poor Faye.
I'd not updated my
Weymont?
scratch sheet. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
That's fine.
My poor Faye cannot take much more. And I really... My poor Faye is seriously not looking like she's escaping at this rate. Because it's Nigel and then River's turn. Before she even has a chance to get away. Alright, Nigel. Do something that doesn't involve you rolling d8s.
Well,
That is what we're looking for.
wasn't-
Non-d8s from Nigel.
the more imperative, I think, is just keeping her from getting away and also not having anybody else look through the freaking face space. So I'm going to cast light and shine it towards where she opened her portal thing to hopefully dispel that, going off of this theory that it's darkness based.
Hateful. Hateful damn players.
You love us really.
Alright. Cast, but roll poorly so it fizzles and pops and dies.
No.
No! You guys are mean.
Alright, so that's a 13. I can still throw Karma if I need to.
No,
But
it doesn't take that much to cast light, I
Yeah,
don't think.
Yeah, it's just a 6, so...
Yeah,
The spell
Pretty
will
sure
go off.
you cast. The spell goes off, there is light. Which is screwing up her door. Alright, River.
And the light source is mobile, so I'm just going to kind of direct it over to where the door is.
Which is basically kind of in those bushes that she was trying to crawl through.
Yeah, yeah, we can see where she was heading.
Yeah. Yeah.
16.
And by the way, yeah, no, it how much?
16.
That's gonna have a success on it. An additional success.
Give me a moment.
You know, I'm pretty sure if I hadn't done that, Morgana would probably have had to make another willpower test to not go charging through the Fey door.
Maybe. I'm not answering that. Now, I do have a question. Once she hits unconscious, if the damage is higher than that, it goes, even though the other damage wasn't lethal. Doesn't it go towards killing her?
I mean, the lethal damage will still go towards killing her. It's just
But what about the stun?
additional
The
stun
stun-
damage won't do anything else, but it still counts as damage.
Right, but
up
this
to
is
her
lethal.
uncon.
So, like, let's, for example, to keep the numbers easy, let's say she had 10 until she's unconscious, and she's at 8. And the shot does 5. That would go past the unconscious and towards lethal.
Yes.
towards
believe
dead,
that it's stun
right?
damage, it would
That's
stop
what I
at-
thought.
It would stop, but you'd keep a track of how much extra damage is, because essentially the non-stun damage would be gradually replacing the stun damage, and then would kill her. And given that I just rolled a 19 for damage,
Which would put her well past unconscious towards dead.
So at this point, is she unconscious but not dead?
I think she'd be. So let me double check the number. Because she only had like a point or so. So let's go with this. She has a point before she's unconscious. And she has a total of past that another 15 points and she's dead.
Okay.
And River just did 19 points of damage. She's dead.
She's dead.
Yes?
Yes. That's. She has basically
That would
16
be
points of health
right,
remaining.
Brad.
Took 19.
Brad, even
What?
though the other stuff was stun,
Yes, that so the stun damage still counts
she's
until,
dead.
up until you're unconscious. But then the lethal damage.
and then the
takes
lethal
over.
would just so she dead. At least what we all think of as dead. Because I'm not totally sure how dead here works for Faye. I know with horrors, that's not always such a cut and dried story.
It depends on if she's dual natured. Although since
Yeah.
she was using the doorway to walk through, I would assume that there's some she requires her physical body to move into Fae space.
See, that is a funny thing. It'd be kind of weird if it worked like that.
We
Like,
can
if she's
check that by
Yeah.
astral sighting, because we'd still be able to see her astral essence, and if she is still around, we can spell target her to take that out.
All right. Well, you guys think about that or not think about that. There's still a lot of chaos, and this was round 3 of the fights, which is about the time that the knights would show up.
It's okay, Knights. We got this.
Yeah, actually, in all truth, they're super impressed.
We didn't think we had, but we had.
They not many people know anything really about Fae, let alone can take one down. So they're super impressed.
I think.
They are
Well-
going to take the body with them, by the way.
Can they help make sure if there is anything in the astral, we've got that covered? Because I'd rather them do it so we don't have to take the strain.
They assure you that they have it handled. That
Okay.
there will be nothing coming back from this.
You know, I actually think it's a pity that she died in the way she did. We have lots of questions that we could ask a Fae. I don't believe anyone's ever managed to capture one.
According to the professor, no, and he's very sad. He's not even like a little sad. He's like really, really sad because he got to ask nothing.
You think we were going to actually get questions out of her?
Depends on how you do it, I suppose.
Given that she wanted to kill everybody.
Or something. I'm not sure what it is she was trying to achieve, honestly.
Dinner?
Well,
Mayhem?
dinner.
With what she said to
Feeding
me
more.
With what she said while we were discussing matters while she was outside the door, she was doing this to feed.
Right. Well, I see. But then if she was in captivity, it would have been... Well, you might have been able to ask her something. Anyway, it's a moot point. She's dead.
He's
Yes.
very dead.
Well, we should go and give Kate the good news.
So the knights actually have quite a few questions. To make this generally less painful because we have closing ceremony because it's a short game. Do you guys explain that Kate probably is not at least completely
She's
wasn't in her right mind. She was ensorcelled.
She
Yes,
was magically
she was
compelled.
ensorcelled. Yes.
Weymont can attest to that effect and that how you went. Yeah, you were just completely tricked and controlled.
We have a cop here who can attest to that effect.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Side note, apparently those two weren't supposed to be dating while on the same unit.
Meanwhile, the crowd goes, "Oh, the drama."
Yeah, that's gonna get fixed. Especially since he's married. But we won't go into that part. That's they would like to know, I'm sure you're gonna turn over the other cases.
Oh,
now
yeah,
I have a question.
We could share
There is a bad man who's in jail for killing his wife. Who was most likely at least somewhat under the face. But you met him. Are you going to explain that he was ensorcelled as well?
We probably should.
I don't know what you should or shouldn't
do. As far as I'm concerned, we hand over the evidence and we let the courts sort it out.
Actually, that's a point.
That's
yeah,
not
we've
our
got all the
jurisdiction.
evidence. Yeah, they can sort it out. We'll just tell them what we know and leave it at that.
He probably deserves it.
Okay. You guys get a calling card for a knight. Her name is Angela Kinnison. And she basically says she's going to be keeping an eye on your career. And if you need something, this is her direct line. She may not always be there to answer it, but someone will answer it and get a message to her.
Nice.
You all now have a contact within the Knights.
Yay. And just to make
and they
sure...
are indeed rather impressed that you guys... They would have preferred maybe not such a public, in the middle of the street type of thing.
Well, so would we.
But they are rather impressed that... They are very impressed that you guys did handle this.
If we could have dealt with it somewhere quieter, we would have.
Yeah, it wasn't really our fault. The face sort of was there, and you know.
And we are making sure, I'm sure it's covered with all the information we hand over, but we'll make sure we mention the supposed plan of something with the the lard being delivered, and that this is her route, and this will need to be followed up on.
Yeah, that's actually very worrisome. Especially not knowing. Did you keep the crazy writing as far as what the recipe was?
I can't remember if we took it with us, but we did not. Yeah, we didn't destroy it or anything. If we didn't take it with us, it's still at her house.
I think
Yeah,
we
it's not
probably
like it's
just
something we would have thrown
found
away.
when they searched the place.
Okay. That will actually be helpful for them to try to figure out what all the Fae was attempting. And they are going to be following up on that. I would like a awareness roll, perception roll from everybody.
Awareness and perception. Okay.
Well, whichever's better for you.
You're not gonna like it because it's 2d8.
No, you're not allowed to roll anymore, Brad. Everybody but Brad.
No,
Brad's character is busy. Nigel is in the
I tell
bathroom.
you what, nice. Brad, you can roll for me and I'll roll for Nigel.
It's okay.
Sorry, Nigel's in the bathroom. No more rolling for Nigel today.
Well,
Or
just
for
so,
Waymont.
just so
Waymont
you
with
know,
a fucking 50?
Oh,
Like, what
just so
the
you know,
hell?
the roll did roll up, and it came up to 17.
17, okay.
I got a
God
12,
damn it.
and I will
12.
I will be clear about this, right? My rolls are usually incredibly average, and Brad will attest to this. But every so often, once in a while,
It happens. It just happens. It just
It's
amazingly, like, so many good rolls today.
it's
I mean,
usually for your character, you get one thing that you're just really, really good at, and it's just one very specific thing.
Yes.
All right.
For the character we had when we
August?
read through Burning Desires, it was Slough Blame. And you
Also-
convinced a
also
raging
12.
orc that the wall did it.
Also 12.
also 12,
Morgana?
and the first time my dice have actually rolled, and I've had to roll again.
Good job.
Morgana is in the rolling up club and rolled a 19.
A 19. All right. Nigel and Morgana, you two overhear one of the knights, not necessarily Angela, but one of the other knights, saying something about they've never seen a fae this brazen before. And they're hoping that this isn't something bigger looming. Yes, scary, pretentious music. Very good.
That's meant to be portentous, not pretentious music.
Well,
But either way.
It can be
that
two
does
things.
change it a little. You guys still technically have one last thing to wrap up the case.
Oh, we need to go talk to the lawyer and the family, don't we?
Yeah.
Yep.
The thing we were actually hired to do.
The Grail Knights have a bit of cleanup out here and a bit of, oh no, it's all fine. That's not really what that was. It was just a crazy lady and stuff. They are taking Kate into custody, though. They don't technically totally arrest her, like they don't cuff her, but they took her into what they called, quote, protective custody. As someone who's had such close time with a fae, it can sometimes cause issues. And they just want to make sure that there's nothing carried over from that.
Oh, we still had Kate's funds I think we can
Yes.
safely provide that with the Grail Knights, because they're not like the regular cops. They got plenty of funding.
Yeah,
don't
they won't.
They're
What
not
little
going to
money
steal
Kate
from her.
has is yeah, they don't need to steal from her.
So so whoever was holding that, I know it wasn't me. It might have been River.
I think River had it, but it was always with
Yes,
the
I
idea
think
that
it
it would be
was.
given to Kate.
But yeah, make mention.
Yeah, so I don't think that River have a problem with it being handed over.
Yeah,
However,
make mention the Grail Knights should be good for that.
Morgana might be somewhat alarmed at the. Could there be a holdover from 2 close encounters with Fae? Fae World? Fae Realm?
Morgana's going to deal with that.
Which
like a
does
healthy
lead
person.
us to.
Drinking.
Sorry, what was that?
Morgana's
Drinking.
like a healthy person and drink about it. Drink to try and forget it.
Yes. That is definitely an adult way to handle that, yes.
Just
All
don't
right.
let your brother know.
So, you do need to talk to the lawyer and the family. Anything else that you need to handle?
I think that's it.
I think so too. I will be honest, I thought you guys would stall her long enough, keep her busy long enough that the Grail Knights would take her into custody. I did not think you guys were going to kill her. Yeah, mean old players. All right, who do you want to handle first? The
Well,
family?
I just channeled my inner River. I'm sorry.
I know.
Honestly,
I think we need to have a big, bold thing that just says, and River missed out because now everybody's shooting up everything.
Well, no, technically River got the killing blow.
Yeah, I mean,
That
So-
is true. We should put that on there.
So it's
don't worry. We all channeled our inner River today.
so we can still blame River for not having the Fae to take into custody. River's not here, and it's still her fault.
I figure we go and talk to the solicitor first, because she's the one who actually hired us, and then we can present our findings to the family with the solicitor.
I don't even know if we
Okay.
have to present to the family. It may just be up to the solicitor.
I don't know that you technically have to, but you might. I don't know how you guys want to handle it.
But yeah, I would say let's
You can leave it up to the solicitor.
we'll hand it to the solicitor, and we'll see how she wants to handle it from there. She may just
Yep.
take it from that end.
Sounds good to me.
At this point, you're
Yep.
probably going to have to do it the next day. Which isn't a big problem unless Morgana's too hungover to go. And then it's still not technically a big problem. The rest of you can go.
Yeah, I think it would be a very good idea for us to go and get some rest. It's been a very taxing day.
It really has.
Morgana's only mildly hungover the next morning.
Only mildly. You know, hey. All right, you guys get to the solicitor for solicitor hours, bright and early. So about, 9, 10. And you guys are seen in pretty quickly. Seats, tea, the whole thing. Who's talking?
Morgana is happy to explain what happened in fairly short note form, because she doesn't even know all the details of every bit of the investigation.
Yes, I vote for Morgana.
Like,
'Cause
do you
she's
tell them that it
exactly-
was that
exactly
Kate did it,
sizzled
but
enough
a
to-
Fae? Like, I'm kind of curious on what you do tell them. Like, yeah, Kate did kill her. Well, this lady Kate killed her, but a Fae made her do it, so it's okay. Like, how does, or do you just
I think she's just going to say
she's
that
dead
she's
and
more-
leave it there? Like,
Pretty much. She's probably not going to go into all the details. If asked, a fairy killed her by making someone else do it. But the Grail Knights are dealing with it.
I don't know that the solicitor, dude. Like, I know that magic is back and dragons is back, but do people believe that Fae are actively working at this point. I would think that would be met with some disbelief.
I mean, I agree. I think that as far
Especially
as I'm
from a
aware,
solicitor.
I don't.
Yeah,
Given that people are transforming into other races, and we have ghosts and dragons,
And there is a dragon.
and we can actually show evidence of magic, it's probably not that hard to believe that at least something along those lines exists.
And there've been goblins about in London. They're mentioned as being a visiting.
That's okay. That's true.
Yep.
All right. So, whereas it is phantasmal, it is what it is. And you guys are from a reputable firm, and you mentioned that the Grail Knights are involved?
Yes.
oh yeah, because
Yes,
I mean they can
Okay.
And we have
So,
a
I
confirm
mean,
with them
that's-
if they need to verify it.
we have a contact if you need
I was
to
gonna
verify.
say, yeah. So, she thanks you for your diligence. She believes there's more to the story, but she also believes she doesn't want to know. Great thing about being a solicitor, sometimes you know you shouldn't ask.
Excellent.
Answers don't always set you free. With that, she'll probably be the end of your time with her. Can't see her keeping you or asking too many questions. You guys have wrapped up the case. Yay!
Hooray!
I really feel like poor River's going to be so miffed that she missed all the shootout.
Well, as long
You
as her
had
character
one
got
job,
the killing
River.
blow.
Everybody gives me shit for shooting things, and then the one time I'm not here, y'all shoot everything.
I said her character
I
got the
feel like
killing
this is how
blow.
this is going to go. I put that she had the killing shot, so she should feel a little bit better.
You
Oh.
had one job, River.
The one time she's not here. Ever. Freaking August is shooting people now. I don't
It's... Sorry.
For anyone listening in who hasn't listened to all of the previous episodes, River has taken some flack for shoot first, ask questions later. And apparently today's game was brought to you by the Spirit of River, who wasn't here in person.
In our defense, we asked lots of questions, then we shot. I tried to
Yeah,
negotiate
so
peaceful
much.
settlement.
You did.
Okay.
You did.
I may have also
You guys did a great job.
Play up just to keep her there, but negotiations.
You guys did it. You guys did a
I
great
think-
job, and you have a contact in the Grail Knights, which is a really handy thing to have. Questions, comments, complaints.
Well, I think that if Brad is correct, then I'm well on my way to discovering what my one thing is.
Done.
Waymont's just stunning.
It could be stun, but it could be a little more abstract. It could be just against Fae and nothing else.
Yes, that could be.
That would be a good skill for you to have. I'm good with you having that being a thing.
Because I mean, when we played Earthdawn, it was just against horrors and nothing else.
Well, with Isaac. But,
Yes.
I mean, you were a horror stalker, so, that made sense.
Yes.
Well, no, and it was also horror stalker when you were in single combat. If somebody was helping you, like if somebody else landed a blow on the horror, it didn't work. It had to be just you.
That's right.
We could boost you, you could get buffs, but it had to be just you fighting the thing. You were the anime hero in that one.
Changed my mind.
That character was ridiculous.
Isaac was a freaking shonen hero. You were living in Japan at the time, too.
I was.
All right. With
You should tell him the story of that gigantic horror that one time. But save that for later.
You should.
Yeah.
No, we've got a few minutes.
Which-
There's no other questions, comments, or
we
complaints.
got 15 minutes for the close.
We have 15 minutes until the close. Because you guys just seriously went through that combat pretty quick.
Well, there were
I don't
enough
know,
of
something
us, I
about
think.
rolling 50 and stuff like that. I don't know.
I
may have had
apologize
something
for
to
my
do with it.
transgressions.
Right. You're not sorry. You're never.
So you should.
Players are never sorry.
I apologise for.
Actually, I think you guys did fabulous. I really do. But yes.
I got a feeling at Gen Con, Andy's
750
going to give
AP,
me a
and
D8.
you guys have a contact.
How much XP did you say?
Sorry?
Or AP? How much?
750.
750.
750 and a contact with the Grail Knights.
And see.
I'm pretty sure when we go to Gen Con, Andy's going to be giving me a loaded D8 that's going to come up ones all the time.
You know, I have plenty of D8s. I can sit there and roll them and find the ones that are the worst rollers and then bring those to you.
And you can
But
guarantee.
But
But
you do
somehow,
that and
just
they'll
because they
play
roll bad
properly.
for me, doesn't mean they roll bad for you.
This is
Granted.
Dice
true.
are like
I mean,
that.
Brad might be one of those dice whisperers. Except he only whispers the
Okay.
D8s.
There is a table for the God Baby game, and it's a set of Gen Con exclusive dice from I don't remember how long ago. But for whatever reason, if I take those dice at that table, all of a sudden I'm rolling crits against them, and I start almost killing them if I'm not careful. So they know things have gone serious when I pull those out. It's like, oh, you want to do what? And I start pulling those dice out. They're like, oh, dang. We have now moved into major land.
Mythras
But
is-
those dice don't work on any other table. Just those dice, that table. So I just have to find the dice that hate you guys. I own lots of dice, so eventually I will find them. Might have to start looking sooner.
has had a tendency in games to roll exceptionally well when her character is really annoyed with people. Like suddenly critting on every hit in a combat.
It's frightening.
It
You guys
happens
did well.
particularly when her character gets very annoyed with bad guys.
So, what do you guys think of your first encounter with Faye?
I don't like it.
I mean, I think it was.
You did really well.
I got a feeling this ain't going to be the last. I'll tell you that much.
Well, even Fays have mamas, right?
Or,
There's a
you
solid
know,
argument- There's a solid argument Grendel was a fae and Grendel had a mother, so that's good traditional British.
or you know, employers.
Or employers.
Grendel's manager. No, that'd never catch on.
All right. I say you tell us the story.
I'll leave
Because
that
we've
to
still
Brad,
got
I
10
think.
minutes.
Oh, with the
All right,
giant
Brad,
horror.
tell us the story.
Okay, so this was in Andrew's Earthdawn campaign. And you have to remember with this campaign, this had been going on since the game was in promotional pamphlets. That was where everything got started. Andrew, the group had been adventuring in Cathay. Andrew whipped out a horror that he had used as an enemy against the group back in 1993. So he'd been hanging on to this horror for like 23 years, I think, at that point, and then finally busts it out again. It's been hiding out in Cathay, and it's been gathering forces. It had this massive tower that we're trying to, we had to go and assault. I can't remember what it was that we had to fight the thing for. There was something it had that we needed. Oh, right, it was we were putting together the pieces of a god.
Yes.
And, which is a whole other story in and of itself.
But suffice to say it had one and we needed to get it.
Yeah, it had a piece of a god that we needed to put the god back together. So we go to infiltrate this tower, fighting our way down through the tower through all of its forces. And as we're making our ways down, there's this big black pillar of just nothingness. As we're fighting people, when they would get very close to death, they would, the crazed followers of the horror, they would leap off and throw themselves at the tower and then just kind of get absorbed into it. And as we get down, fight our way down, we get into the basement. We see the horror. It was basically this, bipedal alligator sort of thing, and it had 4 similar towers. Like big columns about its same height. It's about 20 feet tall, and we get into the fight. You go through fighting it, taking it down. As the body starts dying, it kind of cackles and its body fades, and then it starts to unfold out of one of the other columns. And again, there's 4 of these things. So, we thinking quickly, oh no, it's using this to regenerate. So we end up doing, we do a bunch of stuff where, all like rank 15 light bearers. So we got all kinds of crazy abilities and everything like this. So we can do a whole bunch of, we basically end up dispelling the other towers and counterspelling them. So we basically end up breaking the other columns that it has. So we take out its regeneration. But then it starts to unfold from the big central tower. The one going all the way up through the entire stronghold. This thing is about 200 feet tall. And so now we got this giant bipedal alligator unfolding from this tower as bits are falling off of it, leaving a giant hole from the basement that we are staring up at this thing. I had a lightning cloud cast from the combat that was still hanging around, and Isaac, which is Chris's character, is standing there next to me. And we're like, well, it's time for the horror stalker to horror stalk. So I grab a hold of him. I looked at him, I said, Isaac, do you want to go for a ride? So I grab a hold of him. I have a named flight spell, so I grab a hold of him, and I'm flying him up. Riding the cloud of lightning, and then I basically chuck him at the horror. He jumps.
Before you go ahead, the reason that we were doing this in particular is because at this time, Isaac's weapon, Crystal Splitter, had gained legend because of him. And the legend that it gained was that he gains massive bonuses to fighting a horror when he's fighting it one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
When no one else is helping.
As long as no one else has landed a blow on the thing, he gets the bonuses. But you got that bonus anyway, because that's just how the dice work for you. So I fly him up, and I basically chuck him at the horror. He holds the thing up over his head, slams the blade down into the horror's skull, and just basically rides down the horror as it's falling into the ground. I can't remember exactly what you rolled, but I think it was in like the 300s.
Something like that.
With all the bonuses that you got.
That's beyond crazy.
It was absolutely nuts. I think one of the Cathayan gods showed up at the end and said, "Oh hey, nice work."
Yeah. he basically
Good
gave
job
you.
helping.
Basically, what he did was he gave you his business card and said, "Call me when you're dead. I'll have a job for you."
Well, I like to make all my phone calls when I'm dead. That's awesome. I think that's one of the reasons I really do like the exploding dice so much. There's always that chance that it goes crazy.
The exploding dice has a magical effect on players in that they're not sure, they're enjoying the game, and then they explode a particularly important roll, and suddenly you see them go, "Oh, this is awesome."
Right?
It's like crits. It's like rolling a crit in Dungeons and Dragons, and then some.
I can say from experience, it gets kids interested in math when they have to roll up a bunch of dice.
They actually use dice a lot of times now in the schools, and the kids do like to play with them. For math. All right. With that, Everyone say their goodbyes and I'll stop the recording.
Goodbye. Thank you for
Goodbye.
listening.
Toodle pip.
All right, and it's stop.